Part 5, depreciation. I need to go back to section 1 and put in my car information. So my first car was a Honda Civic 2021. Honda Civic 2021. And then the miles I had were, the car I picked were 13,000. I'm going to open up this website right here. And I'm going to put in my car. I have a Honda Civic. It doesn't even, 2021 is going to be 5 years old. These details don't matter. And then it was $13,000. It does not matter what you put. You can put 5 years, 3 years. I'm going to own my car for 5 years. And I only drive about 7,500 a year. This does not matter, okay? Okay, so I'm going to copy this over. Okay, so I'm going to take my graph and I'm going to put the details that are on here. So at year 0, so I'm going to label my graph, make sure I'm putting, the bottom here are the years. And then on the left side is the percent of value. So make sure I'm putting my labels. And I can see at year 0, it's worth 100%. So I'm going to put that on here. Year 0, and it says to mark it with a square. Empty circle, sorry, empty circle. So I'm going to put a circle. And then at year 1, it's 86%. Year 1 is 86%, and I'm going to put a circle. Year 2 is 83%. Year 3 is 82%. Year 4 is 75%. Year 6 is 72%. Oop, I've got year 5. Year 5 is 74%. Year 6 is 72%. Year 7 is 70%. Year 8 is 63%. Year 9 is going to be 61%. And year 10 is going to be 58%. All right, so that is the official, this is the official rate of depreciation of my Honda Civic. All right, so now I'm going to do my linear, I'm going to turn this into a linear depreciation. I'm going to use the first and last point, and I'm going to use a square for each one. So I'm starting here. I'm going to pick it up in color. I'm going to have a square here, and a square here. And to make it linear, I'm going to make it start here and a straight line all the way through. So that is my linear graph. And so I'm going to write an equation. I know my equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. So I need to figure out my slope. M is my slope, and the slope equals the value lost divided by the number of years. So it started at 100, so the value lost, I went from 100 down to 58. So I went from 100 and it went down to 58. So how much did it lose? That's going to be 42%. So my slope, my M, is going to be 42, negative 42, because it lost 42%. And then the number of years, I can see it took 10 years. To get from here to here is 10 years. So I'm going to divide it by 10. That means it's going to be negative 42 divided by 10 is negative 4.2. So my slope, I'm going to put that in my equation. So y equals negative 4.2 x plus, and my b is going to be my y-intercept, which is right here. It's going to be 100%. So this is my equation right here that I'm going to put in negative 4.2x plus 100. So I've already graphed it. That's what I just did with my squares. I already have my and what percentage will be left after 10 years. So I'm going to take my equation, y equals negative 4.2, and I'm going to put x, I need a space, plus 100, and instead of x, I'm going to put 10. I'm going to go to my calculator. So negative 4.2 times 10 plus 100 equals 58%. So 58% is how much value will be left. That's the percentage. And the question is, how much money is that? Now my car, I already established, was worth $13,000. So I'm going to take my value of my car, and I'm going to times it by 58%, which is 0.58. So 13,000 times 0.58 equals 7,540. I'm going to put that in right here. So $7,540. That's how much my car is going to be worth after 10 years. I'm going to do the same thing for 6.7. So I'm going to take my equation. Instead of 10, I'm going to put in 6.7 years. I'm going to take this, put it into the calculator, and that would be 71.86 years. Percent, sorry. So it should be 71.86%. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take, instead of taking the value of my car and multiply it by 71.86%. So 71.86 divided by 100 is 0.7186. I'm going to times it by 7.7186. My price of my car, and that's going to give me $9,341.80. Make sure I'm putting it in cents. $9,341.8. $9,341.80. That's linear depreciation. Now I'm going to do the same thing for exponential depreciation. So I'm going to take the first and the second point. So my first point was 100, and I'm going to put a triangle. Pick a different color. I'm going to pick green. I'm going to put a triangle here. And then my second point, I'm going to put a triangle right here. My second point was 86%. So how much did it drop from 100 to 86? I take 100 and I subtract 86, so it dropped 14%. So it depreciated negative 14%. That means every year it's going to drop 14%. I started at 100 and I'm going to multiply by 0.86 and I'm going to get 86. So 100 times 0.86, that gives me 86. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take 86, I'm going to multiply it, I'm going to subtract 14%, or times 0.86. And I'm going to get 73.96. So I'm going to take 73.96. And I'm going to multiply times 86.86. And I'm going to get 63.6. So after 2 years, my car is worth 63%. I'm going to take that again, 63.6. I'm going to multiply it by 0.86. 54.6. I'm going to take 54.6 and I'm going to multiply by 0.86. Multiply by 0.86 and I get 46.96. I'm going to take 46.96 and I'm going to multiply at 0.86. I'm going to do the same thing all the way through. And then I got to figure out, I already have my values at 100%. Oh, this is 100%. And the value is going to be 13,000. And then 86%, I'll take 13,000, times it by 86%, and that's 11180. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my value of my car, and now it's worth 73.96%. it's worth 961480. Make sure I'm putting dollars in here. I'm going to figure out how much the car is worth each year. So I'm going to take these values. So after 1 year, it's worth 11,180. After 1 year, it's worth. After 1 year, it's worth 86%. I already have that. For 2 years, it's worth 74%. 2 years, it's worth 74%, which is right about here. I'm going to make it a triangle. After 3 years, it's worth 63%. I'm going to put another triangle. After 4 years, worth 54.6. I'm going to put a triangle. 5 years with 46.9. And you can see it's forming a gradual slope. So that is my exponential depreciation. You're going to do the same exact thing for your second car and for your third car.